Hi everyone, and welcome to episode 9 of Coffee with Cheese. I'm your host, Narciso Bomben. You're probably wondering where the title Your Financial GPS came from. So in last week's newsletter, for those that receive it, it was titled and themed, It Starts with a Map. And really the reference point was anything important in life, you need to have a little direction and guidance. So whether it's travel and going somewhere for the first place or an important financial goal, having a map, having a guide to get you there is absolutely critical. So I thought about this quite a bit, and in past episodes I've talked about the importance of a plan, and not all Canadians have one, and I don't want to belabor that point. I wanted to try and simplify it in this week's episode. So think of it from this perspective. There's 3 important questions I want you to ask yourself, or I'm going to ask them to you, and answer them, and you should be able to answer them anytime you do planning. What is your net worth? And again, this doesn't have to be precise down to the penny, but a general idea of what your net worth is. Are you doing the things to grow and protect your net worth year to year? And are you on track? Are you on track for the most important financial goals? Again, if you were traveling somewhere for the first time, you'd want to know if you're going in the right direction. So whether it's retirement, whether it's kids' education, chances are you're doing this for the first time. You want a guide and you want a map to get there. So being able to answer these 3 questions are critical outputs from having a plan in place. Now, I wanted to also spend a little bit of time really discussing why do most people struggle to answer those questions and not have a plan. Okay, because I'm a big believer, at least in my practice, that it's not just about education and talking, but if I'm not helping clients and individuals make an impact in their financial situation, then it's not really a good thing. So certainly one of the key things I observe is, and again, this applies to those that aren't retired yet. You're so busy in your peak earning years, earning a living, raising a young family. There's so many different moving parts that life is just busy. But again, that shouldn't be an excuse to achieve the important things that you define in your life. Along with that busyness comes a sense of overwhelmingness sometimes. So whether that's preparing all the information, trying to track down where everything is, it could seem like a tedious exercise, but once done the first time, as you'll soon find out, you can leverage it, okay? You can leverage it from year to year. I also tend to see sometimes maybe a sense of embarrassment around maybe not having all the answers to the question, maybe not wanting to talk about their situation because it's really not where they want it to be right now. But again, this comes down to working with someone that you're comfortable and trusting with, because it's very important, not unlike the relationship with your doctor. There might be some things that are uncomfortable to discuss, but if you truly want to feel better and do better, you need to really address them heads on. So these are a couple of key things that I found that have maybe given people a little bit of an obstacle in creating that plan and being able to answer these questions. So what's available now? What are some things to think about? Well, the other reason why I use the title GPS, or have the phrase GPS in the title, is if you remember, at least if you're my age or older, back in the day, if we needed a map, we were pulling out these big yellow maps and unfolding them in our car, and it was a very manual and inconvenient process, but that's how we map things out. Whereas now with technology and the GPS, it's automated. There's a lot of great planning software out there, including one that I use at IG Wealth Management, where it's cloud-based, it's automated, it's very interactive. In fact, I just went through an exercise recently with a client where we're doing this through a video meeting, and I shared my screen, and it was a back and forth. It was such a great conversation that she really commended me on the process. But again, the software nowadays makes it easy for you to go through the planning process with your advisor, get answers to these critical questions, okay? And make sure that, again, once you do it the first time, then from quarter to quarter, year to year, whatever the milestone is, all the core information is there. You're just tweaking it and you're seeing where are you on your journey. So I have a bit of a challenge, or I would call it a suggestion. A challenge might be too strong of a word, but a suggestion for your consideration. In my experience, most people at least do a good job of meeting with their financial advisor, financial planner once a year for an hour or so, if not more. The next meeting, I want you to go in there focused on those 3 questions. Now, out of respect to your advisor, give him or her the heads up of what you want to talk about, because I find that typically the challenge is the wrong conversation is happening. That's the other barrier that I should have mentioned earlier, is the wrong conversation is happening with their advisors. So they're talking about the markets and the economy and the Trump this, the president that, what's Biden going to do, what's Trudeau doing in Canada. Again, the market is very important. Don't get me wrong. Your investment portfolio is like the engine of your wealth, but it's not the only thing, right? You could be doing pretty good on your portfolio and still missing all of your core goals and not doing a good job of growing your net worth. So my suggestion is tell him or her that you'd like to talk about answering those 3 questions, build a plan if you don't have one, and spend your hour or so of time now. Now again, you could spend the first 5 to 10 minutes on an update of your portfolio, but really focus on changing that conversation. You're spending the time anyways, you'll be better off for it. So with that, I wanted to close out this week's episode, and thank you as always for watching. As a reminder, if you have any questions or comments, please reach out either directly or through the comment feature on whatever post you're seeing this through. It'd be my pleasure to continue the discussion on this or any other topic that you have. And as always, a reminder, if you want to have a one-on-one virtual coffee, it'd be my pleasure to do so. Thanks for watching and have yourself a great day.